My name is Marquis, I'm 15 years old.
And my name is Ashanti, I'm 14 years old.
My name is Chilond, I'm 14.
My name is Joebra, I'm 15 years old.
My name's Diana, I'm 16 years old.
And my name is Megan and I'm 14.
Hi, my name's Amelia, I'm 14 and I've lived in Edmonton Green my whole life.
And I grew up in Tottenham.
And I live in Edmonton Green.
I live more from Cross, but I was raised in Edmonton.
I grew up in Tottenham, but at 11 I moved to Edmonton.
And this is the Edmonton that I know.
Hi, I'm Chichi and I'm the founder director of a youth empowerment organisation called Cornerstone Engagement, and we're dedicated to supporting young people to access the information, support and opportunities they need to fulfil their full potential.
Hi guys, my name is Tamika and I'm the founder of A Mother's Cry, A Mother's Love. We're here to empower both the youths and parents in how to impact their self-love, self-being and self-care.
Hey, I'm Chris, one of the co-directors at Youth and Community Connections. We're a community-led organisation that's designed to really support and empower young people in the wider community.
I'm Jim Waswa, right? I'm an Enfield care leaver. I understand a lot of stuff from lived experience. I'm also a youth, right? I also work as a youth champion on behalf of Local Motion.
Hi, my name is Tara Hannah and I am the CEO and founder of Exodus Youth Worx UK. We are a local charity based in Enfield and we work across London, working with children, young people and their families in a holistic way.
I think a lot of times if you're just walking around and you constantly feel judged by members of the public or security guards or the police, or you're constantly feeling unsafe in your local area, it can take a toll on your mental health, and you might just constantly be anxious or constantly be worried for your life that something bad is going to happen to you when you're just trying to either get home or go hang out with your friends or something. I'm not allowed in parks at night, definitely. That I'm only allowed in the places where I'm supposed to be, so like after school if I have a club. I do have like literally stuff, my timetable's so packed every day. I'm always somewhere and I'm barely home half the time, but if I am going somewhere I have to be, well if I can, always be with someone or just like a group of friends that I feel safe and comfortable around, because I feel like when you're by yourself you're more vulnerable to things.
Seeing like the crimes that are happening around my area and just the safety, because like for example this week there's been police around like just outside my house and we don't know what's going on because they obviously can't tell us, but that's like us seeing that, it's making me feel like why would I want to step out of my house when this is happening?
I was in year 7 through year 9. My mum would tell me don't go through Edmonton, like take the train home, be quick, because she knows how Edmonton gets after school and how dangerous it can be.
When it gets darker in the winter, like I feel like it becomes like a bit dangerous sometimes to be outside, because you never know who's in the park and it's very big, so some people that haven't been here before might come here for fun but they might end up getting lost and stuff like that. Danger, like the dark.
Number one thing that my parents told me to look out for is phone snatchers. Phone snatchers, because they're everywhere and they just tell me like it's money that they worked for, so just to look out for that. But they also tell me to be safe. Those two words is repeated 100 times. It's like be safe, be safe.
Feeling unsafe where you live impacts your well-being, it impacts your ability to go out into the community and beyond to do things. So I know lots of young people who say they won't leave their house at a certain time, they won't go to certain parts of the borough, which then affects your access to education, your ability to get employment. I know parents that I work with who won't allow their children to go around Edmonton unless they're in an Uber or if they're accompanying them. And to me, there's just so much incoherence, I should say incongruence around why is this still the case?
We shouldn't be expecting our young people to go out to places that they don't feel safe, and only recognising this when we're mourning another one of our young people. I feel like there's also an imbalance between organisations saying that they want to listen to young people's voices but then not acting on it. Then you have the parents telling them not to go, you have the schools telling them not to go, you have the police telling them not to go, and then we have youth centres within Edmonton Green who are kitted out and ready to work with our young people, but we have the community telling them not to go there. So instead of us trying to make the space more safe for them, all we're doing is moving them onto a different place, and that different place then becomes unsafe because they still won't go there.
For us, if you've grown up in the area or grown up around the area, it sort of becomes like second-hand nature that you grips your phone as tight as possible.
Yeah. Sometimes like knife crimes, like people shooting fireworks, like you don't know. Because it's very dark.
Yeah.
No,
I don't,
never.
Anytime it's dark, the one place I will not step into is a park.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like everywhere in the park there should be like lights, more lights, like to feel safe.
We have a lot of young people who home is not a safe space for them. So when we say we're creating a warm and welcoming space and it's like family, sometimes that wording itself can be triggering. Actually, home, family, safety don't correlate for lots of our young people in Enfield. So this is again revisiting with them and asking them what safety looks like to them, what home should be like for them, and then us also challenging our own narrative, because our thoughts of what they're saying could be very different from what they're actually telling us.
I've been through a lot in like year 7 and year 8, and definitely my head teacher, and she's just made me feel like so comfortable and safe in my school environment. So yeah, I feel pretty safe every time I go to school, and like I can always speak to her about like what worries me and all that stuff, and it just makes me feel like very comfortable being at school all the time.
I think for me is when I have older people that I can rely on and I can talk to and I can communicate with them, that's when I know that the area around me is safe.
Some people are going to confide in you and are going to, wait, let me take, what's this young person saying? Let's try and find an alternative way to deal with this issue, because they've been in your shoes. They understand that. So me, I'm not going to lie to a young person and say, hey, safety, don't worry, everything's going to be fine. Because when I walk around, my head is on the swivel all the time. I'm not going to lie to a young person and tell them stuff that I don't go through. Even now that I'm 20, right? I still go through these things wherever I walk through, wherever I'm at. I always have to make sure I'm okay, who's that, who's whatever, all the time. So I'm not going to lie to them and tell them I know all the answers. I don't know all the answers. And I feel that there's power in being responsible and accountable and understanding these things that are going on. So
maybe other people that are involved in, like, obviously crime scenes and stuff, like, they do crime and stuff. Maybe we look like as a target, maybe they might mistake us for other people and stuff, especially because it's dark, you never know who's in over here.
Yeah, for example, like if you're wearing black, if you have your hoodie on, if it's cold, you just think you're like your easy target, like you're part of one of them. And police might think like, they want to like search you, or if you've got anything like you match description of someone, but yeah.
Because you might be trying to do this work with them, you're only with them for 2 hours, right? And as soon as they walk out, hey, come here.
I have to say, you know what? Don't walk in twos.
Yeah.
Always walk in threes where 2 might be walking and 1 behind. I'm being honest, because you know what they're about. You know what's on the street. I know personally, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If none of you walk at one time, if you know that we're going to go home and the last person lives at Enfield town, you carry each other until that person reaches your home, then put that person in a cab. We have to be street smart too, not just, it's wisdom teaches knowledge. And we know that there's 2 sides to the story. They're on the street, they're doing stuff, but they also need help. Understand, we have to be knowledgeable to know the streets ain't safe. You're putting them on a lower, and that's another trauma, because you're letting them feel like they're nothing. So
I think that black boys are treated a bit more harsher than the black girls, because the black boys sometimes they can get more rowdier than the girls. And I know if I was like a security guard in Edmonton and they were getting rowdy and just being loud, and I was hearing complaints from people, from local people, that I would try to do something, and when you're trying to do something and they're not listening, it would kind of anger me. So I don't understand where the security guards come from sometimes, but it's just, they need to think about a different way to handle situations like that.
I have sit back and watch some of these security guards, their parents, and it's hurtful, even the police, it's hurtful to know that you've got children at home. You may be going through the same difficulty with your child.
Don't be silly, obviously. Don't like go out at night wearing all black with your headphones up, because you never know what can happen. And it's not just in Edmonton. I would say that for everywhere, like
especially London, really.
Yeah, London. I've always said, like, I feel like Edmonton Green just encapsulates the whole of London. Like with multiculturalism, there's just walking around, you see everybody, different race, different ethnicity, and also it encapsulates the good and the bad of London.
We are going to have a large amount of young people that are involved in underground kind of deals, may sell drugs, may have weapons, may be out to cause harm and involved in harm. And actually, they're not involved in it, but they love being in the energy of it. And what they're going to see is someone talking to their youth worker or talking to their community person, and their other peers are going to now say, you're a snitch. You snitched to the youth centre dealt with the issue, but now we're not going to trust you. Now you're in beef, you're on buck, because you snitched to them. And sometimes it's about, yes, having community workers that have things called receipts, i.e. people trust you and you engage, but at the same time, it's about doing it in a unique way. So you're not seen as a snitch, you're not seen as someone that is now I have issues with you and I don't trust you because you snitched.
You snitch on, yeah.
And yes, it is about using unique hooks to engage. Oh, I'm not going to snitch. I'm going to have fun in this program and embedding a professional youth worker who says that. But we need to be careful that there's so many different ways.
100%.
A lot of times it can get out of control, but the intent, I know the intent doesn't start like that. It doesn't start that, oh yeah, we're going to go to Edmonton Green, we're going to cause a ruckus, we're going to go throw stuff off of Edmonton Green rooftops. Like,
the intent is just to like make friends, be sociable, have some fun after school, but at times it can get very crowded and busy. Yeah. And that's when like other like people who aren't kids, they'll see it and they'll start calling the police, and that's when they'll start coming and dispersing everyone.
I would say I want our young people, because they will relate to what we are saying now, to go back and say, we even as adults feel this way. And even us as adults feel a way when we go places where we feel like we're not fitting. I would never want to go back to Tottenham. So Tottenham hadn't done me anything. That's where I raised my children. But what I've experienced was in Tottenham. Did it change me? Yes, because I thought my children were secure. Feeling any way about Tottenham? No, because it was not Tottenham who did it.
Yeah, it was people.
It was people, and the people who did it did not come from Tottenham.
A lot of it is issues that us as professionals or adults see as, okay, those are big issues, but to young people, actually, they're not that big an issue. A lot of people talk about the East-West divide being a big issue for resources allocations. For some young people, they don't even know what the East-West divide is. Actually, they say Enfield Town is an area in more need because there's no youth clubs in Enfield Town. But on the other half of the borough, that actually they're well equipped, and actually the other side is underutilised. It's about asking the young people, what do you want? Not doing it for them once you've heard what they want, but doing it with them, literally empowering them to co-design. So, okay, I've heard you want X, let me and you do it together. It's so vitally important to me that we don't just presume and think, oh, they want that, so we're going to give them that. It's how we work with them to literally build design. They take the lead, and us as professionals just guide them. But unfortunately, with lack of money and resources, it means that a lot of people really want the best, but have to struggle with the limited stuff that they got, and they want to do things because they believe funders want that, they believe that's what looks good, they say certain things, but that's going against the frame.
How well do you think your voice will be heard? So this film goes out, you say Park needs more lights for us to feel safe. Do you think anyone will take it seriously?
No. They'll think we're joking, like we're not taking it like seriously, like we're not commanding it more.
I think in one sense, no as well, because some people might think that, oh, if it's late and it's dark, then why don't you just be at home? But sometimes people come in to chase their dreams and stuff. So I think we need to be heard.
Like whenever you are getting judged, like you feel you lose a part of yourself because you're not being your true self. You have to act a certain way in order not to get judged. And I don't feel like you should ever have to do that. You should always want to be yourself and act freely.
Be encouraged, be informed. Be educated. There's nothing wrong with knowledge. There's nothing wrong with wisdom. There's nothing wrong with seeking help. There's nothing wrong with looking on the bigger picture. Don't be afraid to seek, to find, or to understand, because whatever you want, whatever you need is out there. You don't keep yourself shut up because you feel like that's the way to go. Do not follow the crowd. Be the leader.
Taking back course hours.
Yeah, what you use every day, what belongs to you. Take our identity. That can't happen. You have a say in this.
Period. Don't let your fears about Edmonton stop you from coming to this beautiful place.
Yeah, that's true.